Welcome everyone to the AI Tools for Career Development webinar. My name is Han and I'll be moderating your session today. On the agenda, part one will be describing of the AI tools that's used in career development and job search. We'll also provide of how AI tools is used in career development and talent acquisition, and as well talk about the pitfalls of using AI in career development. Today on our session and our guest speaker, we have Denis. Denis has
Hello. Hello, Han. How are you? Sorry to interrupt you.
good.
I'm just so excited and I had to kind of just jump in.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sometimes I'm in the mode for that, but thank you very much for that. So I want to welcome everyone. Denis, he's led workforce development projects focusing on newcomers and international students. He was an associate dean at Seneca Humber and Fanshawe. He is an experienced educator and trendsetter, and your focus lies primarily on workforce development skills training in the age of disruption. Perfect for our session today. And of course, my name is Han, 20 years of newcomer experience, specifically in settlement and employment programs. Happy to be here to moderate the session with you. So I will, of course, give the floor to Denis and over to you.
Thank you so much, Han, for that introduction. And I always start my presentations in this format. All the knowledge that we have in the world can be encapsulated in this circle. And it's impossible for us to know everything that's out there. So when you look at the yellow part of the circle, these are the things, the knowledge that you don't know that you don't know. And my goal today is to bring you to what you know that you don't know, so that now once you know, you can actionize. So Han, this is really kind of where I'm at today, is to steer you from now I know what I don't know to now I know what I know. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Let's figure out what I don't know first.
Sure, sure. Let's start off with some stats, and this is recent stats. April, the disability rate in Canada is increasing, and I'm sure that the audience is aware of the statistics on Canadians with disabilities. And also, there's been some studies by the CDPP on hiring people with disabilities can really improve your bottom line. So they're a big advocacy group working with employers to say, hey, we have a lot of talented people and they have certain disabilities. However, their disabilities can be an asset to employment.
Absolutely.
So our first segment, we're going to look at AI tools in career development and job search. So when we take a look at career counseling and especially in job search, there are really four main areas where AI is used. There's resume optimization, so using ChatGPT to not only create your resume, but also to optimize your resume. There's also career path predictions, virtual career coaches, and job matching algorithms. Those are all kind of the components that form AI in career counseling. Now, the important thing that I'm going to talk about here is that AI is a very good tool to do all four of these tasks. However, it's the human element that is critical when you're looking at embedding AI into your practice. And I call that AI plus H.
It's so true because I think a lot of folks, they'll see this tool and say, is this going to replace my job? But it'll never replace the human side of counseling.
Absolutely. It's no different than when Google came out in early 2000. People say, well, we don't need libraries. Well, no, libraries still exist. It's a different form of embedding knowledge. However, Google did not replace the role of the librarian. So this is a really good segue to talk about generative AI. And I'm assuming everyone knows what generative AI is, and examples would be Microsoft Copilot, ChatGPT. There's a lot of different flavors out there, and there are many, many more to come. The main goal that I have seen over the last year is that AI can save time spent on repetitive tasks. So if you're doing stuff, the same thing over and over again, that's where the power of AI comes into place. And also performing administrative tasks and even write emails. If you use Microsoft Outlook, for example, and you have Microsoft Copilot, it will actually provide you an opportunity to respond and write your emails for you and give you a draft so that you're not spending time thinking about how am I going to answer this email. And the last application of AI is to do some marketing related activities such as posting a blog or to write a communication plan or to provide some type of promotional material for your social media. For a career advisor, AI has some significant and unique benefits, and this is what we're going to explore today. Now, Han, based on your practice, can you provide an example on how you have used AI?
Absolutely. So, for example, for resume building and a job search that I'd like to, or help a client to help to apply to, what I do is I take the content of the resume and the content of the job posting, and I ask ChatGPT to provide me what are the areas that are missing in my resume, and it'll help me guide me what areas. And I take those guidings and then, of course, put it back into my resume so I can optimize my resume. So definitely generative AI has been very, very useful in that sense.
And if I can offer a tip for those of you who are using AI, such as ChatGPT or even Copilot, what you're doing is interacting with machine language, and the machine language needs to have a persona. You have to give it some type of direction. Act as a career advisor. Then it knows how to answer your prompt.
Yep.
So always start off your prompt with act as a whatever, and in this case, act as a career advisor.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's the key. And I'm sure, Han, that's a strategy that you use. Otherwise, you get a lot of garbage.
Absolutely. Act as a persona, but also the tone. So you would like it more formal or a little bit more friendly and professional. So you can also adjust some of the prompts in order to kind of give you the final output that you're looking for. Maybe perhaps we can even one day do a generative or ChatGPT prompting session. But yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and the other thing to remember is that when you're interacting with ChatGPT, Copilot, you do not use the same parameters as you would for a Google search. So you're not really searching. You're interacting with a machine, and it's like talking to somebody.
Yep.
So the big tip for you today is have a persona, act as a.
Absolutely.
So, what are the risks of using AI? Well, I'm sure many of you in the audience are well aware of the risks, but for sake of completion and also for dialogue here, is that AI has a lot of benefits, but there's a lot of risks, and we're only at the tip of the iceberg as far as finding out what are the risks. There's so much information available now about the risk of using AI, and there's more to come. But the two main points I'd like to highlight here is that things can go wrong very quickly because you're interacting with a machine. You're not interacting with a human being who has a sense of thought, who has some ethical and moral values. If you are using AI in your job or showing clients how to use AI, you need to understand and protect against these risks. That's why I've got this nice little caption on my slide deck. It's AI plus H. AI is a fantastic tool, but you need to have the human element surrounding the AI. So I guess an analogy is that what we're seeing is a lot of people are using AI, ChatGPT, to create a resume. However, employers can quickly discern a resume that was created by ChatGPT versus a resume that had some thought and it really represents the person who's applying for the job. Han, what do you think of that?
Absolutely, 100%. And this is where the tool is absolutely that. It helps elevate to where you'd like to go. However, you still need to do the learning, the background research, the discussion with mentors and advisors, and coaches in order to be that much more successful when in front of an employer. So it is not the end all, be all, a tool. It is just a great facilitation for a job seeker.
Um, there's a lot of other pitfalls, and one of them is hallucinations and inaccuracies. The tool is only as good as the data that has been trained on. So what you're going to see over the next couple of years, an evolution in deep learning. I don't want to get into a lot of the IT stuff, but it's basically having the tool learn based on past experiences. And uh, if the model that is being used has not a lot of data, then then it doesn't give you the right answers to the prompts that you're requesting. And this is called hallucinations. And it provides you with inaccurate information. Built into that hallucination inaccuracies is bias, stereotyping, and discrimination. So AI is trained on human provided data and may have access to the internet. So it's building a repository of knowledge. However, if the AI tool has not been trained properly, and you're not providing the right information to use the AI, then it can't pick up bias or discriminatory information, and this will be reflected in your output. So something to be very well aware. Um, Another thing to keep in mind is that you may get poor quality results because AI isn't the career expert. And now we're really focusing on career development. It's not a human, and it works on predicting words that should be written next to each other based on words that it has seen before in its database. So this is really key. Is people assume that ChatGPT or my Copilot, they are the experts, but they're not. They're not human. And again, that's why I call it AI plus H. AI doesn't think, create, or craft like a human. And because of that, it'll be reflected in the output. And that's why employers look at a resume and they'll say, hey, this is not done by a human. So it's something you need to keep in mind, and that's why I really stress AI plus H. If there's anything you need to remember from my presentation, is that AI is a great tool, but you need the human element. It can also accurately portray your client's enthusiasm for their career, their empathy, or understanding some more of the people characteristics. Huh. What do you think of that?
Yeah, absolutely. So going back to the expertise of a counselor, the language, the lingo, the way that it's set up, definitely needs that human input for sure. Yeah.
One of the biggest issues with AI is privacy. The confidential and sensitive personal information may be shared with the AI tool that you're using, and you need to make sure that if you are interacting with an AI tool, that your information may not be secure or protected. And cybersecurity breaches are happening at a rapid pace, and you want to make sure that hackers cannot get into your confidential and private information. So just a note of concern.
And,
And there's oh yeah, go ahead, hon.
and do you know if when you go into ChatGPT, they're using that data in order to learn from it? So whatever you put in there, it's not private to your prompts. It's still out there in the internet world.
That's right. It's like being a big vacuum, and it's just sucking up all that information in order to make its model better and better.
Right.
Um, And then it poses some ethical problems, is that AI doesn't have any morals or ethical values. So really it's whoever is, whichever organization, company, programmers that create the models, did they put any guardrails about morality and ethical values? Um,
Yeah. I
Human oversight is critical.
Yeah, I think that there is, of course, some oversight into the rules and the way that ChatGPT works. However, because we're human, we're able to create prompts that kind of go around it and find the final answer. So if you're trying to break the law, of course, ChatGPT won't allow that to happen, to say I'm unable to provide you with information. But there is, I've seen it where there's prompting in certain ways and maybe takes 10 steps to get there, but you can still get there at the end. So you're right. It cannot hold moral and ethical values if you work with a human to get around it.
So this is a nice segue to get into examples on how AI is used in career development and talent acquisition.
Mhm.
So what got us onto this road of how can we use AI in career development was really about 3 years ago. We did an extensive survey with career development practitioners, and we asked a simple question: on average, how long does it take to advise a client to create and edit a resume? And the majority said it takes more than 2 hours. So they have to sit down and go through. This is a resume. This is the punctuation. This is the font size. This is the spacing, the number of pages. And Han, you've worked in this field for quite a number of years. Any observations from your practice?
Absolutely. It's a minimum of 2 year hours, I would say. It's not only the formatting, but just the learning and the understanding of what a professional statement is, action items for bullet points. And so a lot of that learning is part of that minimum 2 hours in addition to the formatting. I completely agree with the results there.
So based on those results, and Han, you provide some very good examples, like a professional statement. So what is a professional statement? And if you're new to Canada, or if you have or if you never created a resume before, this is daunting, and there's so many other elements of a resume that is critical, but you need to explain. Now, we when we surveyed in part of the survey, we also asked a follow-up question: what if the same client came to you with a formatted draft resume and a resume ATS scan report? How long would it take to advise the client? And that drops down to less than an hour. And Han, any comments on this?
Yes, absolutely. But and also, I think we have to also discuss that this is an average, and there are variations because persons with disabilities or varying abilities also have a certain need, maybe less or more need. And so this is an average of how it takes right after the preparation that's provided with the AI. Yeah.
So we at Devant, we provide pre-employment services, which is a white label career development portal where we have AI models that will prepare job seekers to prepare their resume, to scan their resume to see if it's ATS compliant and provide feedback. It also has the ability to take your resume and provide a mock interview that is recorded, and the AI tool will actually provide feedback, and also as well as LinkedIn optimization and elevator pitch, and it's all embedded within a portal.
Hmm. And would you say that's AODA compliant as well? And also we have the accessibility function where we can change the font, have it read out loud, color changes, so much more accessible for the platform.
Yeah, that's a good point. Our platform is AODA compliant. It also has all the tools for people with certain disabilities, text readers. We have there's video. There's also transcripts, closed captioning. So this is a very powerful platform that is being used in over 30 schools across Canada and over a number of agencies that support workers to help them gain employment. So the Kibbe platform is linked with the Devant platform, and it is really the job seeker part. So we have pre-employment and we have the job seeker. So we have two different brands. One is the pre-employment, which is Devant, and the employment piece, which is Kibbe. And it's an AI-powered multilingual map-based job search app. And it also has a job board employer career page. And Han, maybe you can describe this component.
Yeah, so I think what Kibbe is trying to do is create an ecosystem for job seekers, community partners, and and employers. So essentially, we create all of these platforms and pull them together into one main platform, which is the job board and the Kibbe app, and they all interact with each other. And we use AI so that we provide an efficient way to connect both the employer and the job seeker. So what I mean by AI supports is that AI supports in writing job responsibilities. AI for job seekers create cover letters for every single job that's tailored to the job itself. Again, just creating this great ecosystem so that employers and job seekers can find each other much faster. And of course, having the community job boards to facilitate that.
So if you were to look at it from a linear perspective, Devant is job prep, Kibbe is employment, and bundled together, we provide community resources to link employers, not only employers, but employment agencies, settlement organizations, and associations to talented and skilled clients. What is really key about this whole process is we have tracking where we can report metrics from the job prep to the employment stage, and we call that our impact center. Now, this is not this presentation is not meant as a sales pitch, but it's really here to provide you with some information about, now you know that there are some tools that exist out there that will leverage not only AI, but also provides interventions that clients can use in order to gain employment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if we were to look at the Devant platform, it's white labeled, meaning you have your own brand, you have your own colors, and within the platform you have AI career tools in order to leverage the power of AI, but also for the client to create assets that can now be used by an advisor, employment consultant, or a coach in order to make their job easier. So again, when you take a look at the survey that we did, it was to bring down that 2 hours of time down to less than 1 hour, so you can spend more quality time discussing and providing the human element to career development. Now, with Kibbe, what the advantage there is that we not only provide jobs across Canada, we scrape all the job sites. If it's posted on the internet, we're able to bring all of that information back into our platform and provide a visual interface that is map-based. So now clients can take a look at not only where are the jobs, but from a map perspective, is the job close to public transit? Is it close to the babysitter? Is it close to my church? And this provides a whole different level of job search that is not available on Indeed or on LinkedIn. So what you see on this particular slide, the yellow eyeballs would be jobs that is scraped across the internet. And the logos are employers that we actually work with that provide that's using our services to promote their jobs.
Mhm.
The other key aspect of Kibi is that it is multilingual. Not only is the platform available in different languages, but if you were to look at a job description, you can translate it into 17 different languages.
Mhm. I'll just do a very quick, it's a
Sure.
much more accessible for sure. The app is entirely can be chosen out of the 17 languages, but for the translation, if it's not out of those 17, we all have little components that translate into 60 different languages. So very, very accessible for our job seekers.
And very visual, and
Absolutely.
and and that's the feedback we're getting with the organizations we work with. They say, well, here's a platform that is AODA compliant. It has all of the accessibility tools available, and it's visual. You can look at a job from a different perspective, which is map based.
Mhm.
And we have an interactive job board, which looks just like Google Maps, where you can, instead of searching for restaurants or a gas station, you can now search based on location, which is a very powerful tool when you're working with clients and you want to provide them with support. So how important are data analytics, metrics, KPI, and dashboards to your operation? This is something that was very key to using AI, is that now we can extract the information that when clients interact with our tools, and then aggregate all of this information and provide data tracking, such as the number of active users that are using the platform, the number of resumes created and scored, the number of mock interviews and score that the AI provided, number of events that clients attended, the number of modules that clients completed, number of jobs and where did they apply, how many employers invited clients to apply. And the whole idea here is to provide data on career development, pre-employment to employment. And we call this our impact center. This is another example of the data. This is an example from we work with College of New Caledonia in BC. They had 777 accounts, and the engagement rate is 67%, meaning 67% of the 777 students or clients are actually using the tools, the AI tools, the resume builder, the mock interview tools, and all of the other assets that are within the Devant Kibi platform.
And a lot of the
And
times, I think when you think of numbers, 67, I guess when we look at grades, that looks a little bit lower, but when it comes to engagement rate, that's actually quite high.
yes, it is very, very high. When I worked at the three colleges, we were very happy when we had 10 to 20% of clients show up for sessions. So 67% is a very, very good number. And when we work with our business clients, this is one of the things that they highlight. They said we have very, very high engagement rates.
Right.
And just a list of some of our partners that we are working with. So again, the whole key here, the message is that it's using AI tools, but also the human element. The Devant KB platform, great AI tools, but these tools are there for the clients to get them to a place where now I know what I don't know, and now I can work with my career advisor, my coach, my counselor to get me to the next step, which is getting me a job. So this is how we see AI plus H working together. We have events, we have a community, we provide a white labeled career development platform and a geotag multilingual job search app. And when you bundle all of this, is that now you have the job seekers with disabilities can create and improve their resumes, their cover letters, prepare for interviews, and find suitable jobs in Canada with the help of a career advisor, coach, employment consultants, because that is key for success. Again, Han, anything here you'd like to add?
I'd just like to highlight it's accessible 24/7. I think with the, if everyone has a different shift or time that they're available, these tools are available to them at their disposal. So it's very, very accessible.
And they can work through their resume, their cover letter, their mock interview at their own pace. And
Absolutely.
the AI tool will provide them feedback, and they can then use the feedback and improve.
Yeah.
So some of the pitfalls in using AI in career development, and how do we safeguard about its unintended consequences? Well, there's again bias and discrimination. AI may favor candidates from certain backgrounds or specific qualifications, ignoring capable candidates from diverse backgrounds. And that's where the H comes in. So the human element will mitigate bias and discrimination. Lack of human contact or touch point. What we highly recommend and what we have seen is that if you're able to combine AI tools and embed that in your process where clients use AI tools, but they now have access to a human, whether it's a coach, career advisor, employment consultant, this mitigates the lack of that human touch. The privacy concern, whichever AI tool you do use, make sure that they have a privacy policy, they have a retention policy. What do they do with the data? Where's the data stored? And how do they mitigate against cybersecurity? The other big issue is the over-reliance on technology. And what we have found is that, again, going back to the example of people having access to ChatGPT. ChatGPT can create a resume. They send the resume off to the employer. The employer looks at it, and they are quickly not recommended to the next step because the resume looks too ChatGPT-ish. So again, the importance of having working with a human, a career coach, career developer, a job coach, because then you can mitigate against this pitfall. So again, bias mitigation, human AI collaboration, and data privacy and security are really key in your practice. There's quite a number of information that is being disseminated through organizations such as the CCRW, how job seekers with disabilities can use AI to support their job search. Now, in the field of disability, using technology is not foreign to you. You've been using technology for quite a number of years in your practice. AI is just the next logical step. And the government of Canada has, they do have an employment strategy for Canadians with disabilities. And they have a vision of the employment strategy is to close that employment gap by 2040. And we truly believe that AI will narrow that gap substantially. And in this particular report from the government of Canada, in 2022, you can see that the gap is closing. But AI is going to be the one big tool that will make that employability gap even less. Han, what do you think?
I think it's a great thing. Um, Anywhere we can help uh, job seekers, job seekers with varying abilities to find employment, it's a great thing to close that gap. Yeah, wonderful.
So again, the key message here is AI plus H. AI tools are great. You need the human element. So Han, what I wanted to achieve today was to get you to move from what you don't know to now I know what I don't know to now I know. And once you know what you don't know, you can do something about it.
Absolutely. I hope the conversation, for me, for sure, is just started to think about what kind of tools could I use for my clients to help them find that employment and close the gap there. So just having that thought and keeping that in the back of the head, and also discovering it as we go and we talk and try different AI tools out there. This is great.
Han, I'd like to thank you for helping me with this session, providing some of your insights. I want to thank the audience for joining us through this presentation. You have to remember that we do live in an age of disruption, and disruption is a wave. And the only way you can protect yourself is to wear the life jacket. And the life jacket in this case is to use AI, but make sure that you understand the power of AI, and also that AI needs a human component in order for it to reach its potential. Please do reach out to me. There's my email address, denis@devant.ca. Also, please connect with me on LinkedIn. I post a lot of information on a biweekly basis that may be relevant to your practice. And again, a big thank you for listening to us and to getting you to a place where now you know what you don't know. Han, any final words?
No, thank you so much, Denis. As always, the presentation's very insightful. Um, it was, it's always a pleasure to host these sessions with you.
Well, thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your conference.
Take care, everyone.